Oh, that's interesting. How's that doing that? What? Why is that happening? Weird. Okay. I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna pretend like that's just because I've been sitting here at this login screen for a while, so we'll see what actually, let me see if I can duplicate that. Instead of being lazy. I'll turn this off. I'll turn this back on. While I wait for people to show up, if you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. Oh my god, you may not be watching this on YouTube because I've been really bad about getting my damn videos posted. So, mental note, I need to get the rest of the VODs posted. And so that I'm not slipping on that one. The one video that I not video, but the stream that we had the other day, like last week, where I went on my long ramble about DC Universe Online and we watched that video and all that stuff. I don't know that I'm going to post that on Monsters and Memories YouTube. I'll probably post that on a Loving Robot YouTube. It'd be the rare thing that's not an EQ interview that's there. I need to post some of the little Eminem clips and stuff as they come up over there as well. But yeah. Anyway, oh, and I need to post a reminder that we just had the update come out at the beginning of the month. Oh, what am I doing with my time? Hey, BDC Retro, what's going on, dude? All right, let me log in and see if I can replicate this music bug. Hey, Bunny. I think no servers are connected or available. Let me see if something's going on. Back. Actually, let me do this. Hey, Droop. What's up? Hey, Edric. Just getting going. Noticed a weird audio thing here a second ago. No servers are available. Is that the truth? Is that a lie? Hey, Pattis. Maintenance day? I thought that was supposed to be Wednesdays. Are we there yet? No, unfortunately not. Wiggly Lines 201. Thank you for 11 months. Hey, MMO Pug. What's up, Beaver? Please. Cathadian. I am currently trying to get into a game.
6 months. Smiley face.
Nicodemus, thank you for 6 months. And for all of your wonderful sketches in our Discord. Speaking of which, let me get all my commands loaded up on the stream deck. Demon Injected, howdy. Papa Gurkha, thank you for the prime. And for making the hype train banner appear. You'll have a limited time to earn exclusive emotes. It'd be interesting. I think that would work better if during a hype train you could unlock exclusive emotes from the actual stream that you're on. as opposed to the random shit that they give you. Do you know that a former assistant producer turned producer, I think, producer of EverQuest, I know he was an assistant producer, little helper for a while, super, super nice guy, Craig. He's, last I spoke with him last year, maybe it's longer now, but last I spoke with him, he was like the vice president of partnerships at Twitch. Small world. Hey Regis. Alright, so I just deleted all my characters. I'm gonna make a new one. It's gonna be a gnome, so we can see what animations are missing and stuff on them. It's gonna be a gnome Inquisitor. Nicodemus just gave out a community gift sub. I think that triggers the hype train, level 1, according to the confetti. Nice. You've gifted 37 subs to the channel. No shit. That's very generous of you. 37 is my lucky number. I actually have at least one 37 tattooed on me. I've established certain conditions in life that once unlocked, I will get more 37s tattooed on me. Though you may or may not see them in my lifetime. We'll see how it goes. Alright, create character. And there he is. Let's enter the world with him. What's up, Zukin? Let's go full screen. Current TV, thank you for the follow. Current, are you a content creator? Is that where the TV is from? Good to meet you. Alright, so I'm in here on a gnome. Guard Gary. He is, he's off on urgent business. Alright, so let me go ahead and get set up while I'm in here. Oh, I want to modify our sit animations. We should have a sit animation that is holding the spell book, and when we have books, then that would be nice. Zukin. I was playing around with the stab based on Nick's feedback earlier today. Today's been a weird day, so it hasn't necessarily been the most productive. What it was, though, was a good opportunity for me to accidentally destroy one of our zones in GitHub. So it would be it'd be nice for Ali to respond back and make it so that Sungreet Strand is no longer deleted. We've got to roll that back. Apparently merge doesn't work well. Where will the weapons go, Zukin says? I think they just disappear. I think we need to have certain animations where whether it's done in Unity or, you know, like, I don't know if we do it in the animation or if it's in code or what, but through the power of magic, you sit down and open your book and your things in your hands disappear. That way we're not overcomplicating it. Though it does then create an interesting case with regards to torches. Because if we put in like the ability to hold a torch or a lantern or other light source, which is the thing I was posting about earlier, then does that go away? And in that case, does it get dark? Karen said, thank you for streaming. And I am, I guess. The TV part was originally from when I did esport production back in the day. I just started streaming myself past couple of months though. Oh, right on. What do you stream? Sounds like another 5-hour meeting to be had. No, we don't. We're not going to get in the habit of 5-hour meetings on every topic, Zukin. That'll be how about we just try it out and then make a call and move fast. We cannot break our habit of just getting shit done and then changing it if people dislike it too much or it doesn't work or whatever. We need to be I don't want to say agile because I hate when that comes up in corporate environments. But we need to be fast movers. Bunny said, if it makes me feel any better, I was messing with Morrowind modding a few weeks ago, and the first thing I did was accidentally delete the Bitter Coast region while trying to move a tree. That does make me feel better. Alright. Stabbing, especially with different style of different length of pointies, hasn't been the easiest thing. Torch goes on the ground, picks it back up when book is put away, meeting over. We could try something like that. See, that's initiative. Current said, I'm usually on Project Zomboid or something retro from the 2000s or so, trying to see what works and what do I have fun with still. Perfect. It's good to figure out what you enjoy. Somehow I ended up doing this. It was not the original plan when I started streaming a couple years ago. Oh, I see Nick. Oh man, he just buffed me. It looks amazing. You hear me scribing that stuff in? That's pretty dope. Light sources that aren't held are an upgrade. Yes, absolutely, Bunny. That's the thought. Light sources that are brighter, more interesting looking, don't have to be held, last longer. So, all of that stuff. Load that there. Oh, let me accept that invitation from Nick. Also, I need to see if Nick wants to be on voice. It could also be that when you open your book, no, basically I'm just saying the exact same thing that you just said, Fleas. I'm going to call you Fleas instead of Flea Save Quit. Or I'm going to call you Flea. Because I think we agreed to that a long time ago. It's not a fancy new book, Dark Inside. And welcome. This has been in for a little bit. You've been a little slack in your attention to us. But now that you're back, you can see the book. We'll have a much cooler book in a not too horribly distant future, I believe. Is this scribing or not? Oh, I've already memorized it. Okay. Oops. Well, that's a weird thing to have happen. Anyway, the idea of putting the torch down, because when you said put it down, I pictured lay it down, but I could see us sticking into the ground next to you. And then if you're holding a lantern or something, it just sits on the ground next to you. I could see that. We should make that happen. Don't let me forget that. It's going good, Bilbo. How are you? Bilbo, I see you're doing corporate talk up there. I see what you're doing. Bilbo said, another unprecedented synergistic new normal. Can't wait to circle back, take offline, and drill down. Value added. But does it delight and surprise? All right, so torn note. Welcome to Monsters and Memories. Have fun. There you go. That's all the instructions you're going to get. We're going to destroy that. What are my stats right now? I've got 20 strength, 20 stamina, 16 agility, 14 dexterity, 18 intelligence, 14 wisdom, and 18 charisma. I've got really good stats. What is my weapon? Trainee's sword. Oh, Zukin's here. 4 damage, 28 delay, skill slashing, weight 7 units. I need to get with Ali and mention that I really think it'd be fun to have everything weigh in coins. So if it's like 7 units here, I'm assuming, well, the 7-pound sword would be a beast, so I don't think that's accurate, but it'd probably be more like 70 coins. So here's Nick. Nick is a cleric. He's level 1. Zukin said he's got some meetings, but he can hang on for a bit. The 7-pound sword is like 7 swords. I think it... How much do you think a sword usually weighs? Like... Depends on the sword, right? Like a standard... A standard short sword. 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. Well, shit, those things are dying fast. Did you just 2-shot these? Alright, things are dying too fast. Ooh, I can buff myself, I think. Let me target myself. Cast strength. Papa Gorka says, or asks, I guess is more appropriate. You guys gonna be like Project Gorgon and have people play while you're developing? Before I answer, let me ask you, what are your thoughts? Would you be down to play while we're developing, or do you just want to wait until we're finished? Oh crap. How's the audio? Is it too loud? Let me expand chat a bit so I can, Well then, he died. Nicodemus says... I agree. I, for once, would like to see corporate values come out and be like, number 1, to create cash. Number 2, survive unforeseen economic headwinds. 3, make investors delighted. 4, more money. So you want to take it back to the 80s. Looking for those Gordon... You want like a more... a gradient that goes a bit more towards Gordon Gekko. Damn, I just one-shotted him almost. Let's see. Hey, Gripner. So, Regis said I'd be down to play. I think you get more information that way. And that's in relation to the question I just asked about, like an early access. Let's see. Droop says, I'd love to be able to play around with a couple of dungeons in a city, help with population density, combat, group play, etc. So another vote for early access. Provoke. Current TV says, saw a post on the Project 1999 group. Oh, in Facebook. Pattis was just letting us know that someone had mentioned something there. So saw the post about making this that brought me here, and I gotta say, as an old school UQ guy, it looks amazing from the little I've seen already. Nice. That's what we like to hear. You can see there's some missing animations and stuff, but you know what? We're still heavily in development. What's the early? Everybody says audio is good. It helps and not hindrance. And I'd like to play. If it helps, and yeah. I think really that's that's been our goal for quite a while, is to try to get to a point where we can have people in and start to treat it as kind of a live product, early access style, instead of like just I don't know, like extended alphas and all that other stuff. Just get people in and playing, but we do have to be careful about how we do it. We want it to be a decent enough experience that we can take your money. But it'll be one of damn, this guy's actually putting a little bit of whooping on me, which is nice. I like that feeling. I like to be whooped. That'll be a clip. That was not the intent. So yeah, we just we definitely got a lot more work to do to get to that point, but it'll be rad. I think testing on a fishing game would be fun, but actually diving into play, I want to wait until I have a game you think is ready, even if more of the game's being worked on. Alright. We got some level 2s here now. I'm gonna sit under the glow of this beetle's butt. D Whitney 45 said someone shared this on my P99 EQ group. Looks like a great base. Can't wait till you guys get people in. Well, thank you, D Whitney. It's good to meet you. And thanks to the individual that shared that. It seems like it's a productive share. I've been talking for a while now about streaming on Facebook. I think our target demographic uses Facebook. And I've heard decent things about the discoverability on Facebook. Maybe I'll do one night a week stream on Facebook soon. Boomers is a target demographic, Droop asked. What do you think? What do you think? It's if you look at our metrics though, the various metrics that we get in YouTube and other stuff, looks like we're a solid 35 to 50.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Midgard. And thank you for 21 months. It's always interesting when folks you don't hear from a ton like you pop in and it's like 21 months. That's a lot of lurking. I like it. Just don't do the current fad, enter early access, charge full price for the game, then never complete it. Well, is an MMO ever really completed? But I know what you mean. Never launch it. Never get it to where it needs to be. Yeah, so we've still got some work to do. We've got time ahead of us. Hey, Keith. Papa Gurkha said, play EQ on Brisbane at the moment, having a blast. Nice. Have you been there the whole time, like since back in the day? Did Nick say he was running by spells or something? I got the feeling he did. I haven't looted a single thing, so I actually don't have money for spells. Guess I should loot some shit. We got a lot of corpses over here I could have been looting. The Cathadian said, or charge full price for early access and then go free to play with Cash Shop. Don't do that. Yeah, we're not going to do that. I think rather than pull that kind of move, we'd be better off just deleting the Git, the repository. Oh, gloves. Look at me. Wish it was just one glove. We need the ability to just equip one glove. Just one cloth glove. Man in the mirror. I'm gonna stop trying to be funny for tonight. I had a Red Bull earlier. It'll wear off. Don't worry. I'll go back to not talking. I'll stop making boomer jokes. Sorry, Nick. August Burnsville. 21 months. Thank you, buddy. Are you going to be playing on TLP with us? Bum. Let's see. Thanks, Nicodemus, for the compliment on the animations. Papa said, if I had known that the industry was going to turn into Wish, I had... Is that a statement that gets completed somewhere? I'm scrolling down. No. I'm confused by the statement, Papa. Are you going to have a crack staff type item, something newbies really enjoy getting? I'm sure we will. If we don't already have a crack staff in here, I wouldn't be shocked if we did. Sometimes we use some references to just kind of make sure that we've got those bases covered, and then we can go back and make them a little bit more unique in ours later. So, what's the lore behind everyone being naked? What would the lore be behind everybody having clothes? That's one of those ones that I'm always stuck on. I kind of like the idea, like, we start you out with more stuff currently than, like, I've been saying, you just start with nothing. You just start as a blank character. And then whatever roleplay excuse you wanna make up for being naked at the city gates. Or maybe you start with rags. If we're gonna let you be naked. We had talked about, like, when you die, so we talked about, is your base outfit like this, or is it sort of EQ style where it's you know, you've got painted on newbie clothes. And then we talked about that a little bit. Ali mentioned that in Ultima Online, when you die, you get a shroud so that you're not naked. And if we allow you to be kind of in your underoos, maybe we start you with some clothing. When you die, you always come back in a shroud. But you can take all that off, except city guards will get mad at you in most places if you're in your underwear, and they'll yell at you to put on clothes, and if you don't, then they'll attack and kill you. And then you'll have another shroud. So what's the ogre just standing there? He is a dead ogre that does not have a death animation playing at the moment. I don't know if that's because we still haven't re-uploaded that, Zukin, or if it's just because it's an old corpse. Hold on one second. I am behind on chat. So let me... I didn't read the description on this ability. I probably should have. Minor spell shield. A magical shield encircles you, increasing your hit point by 10, AC by 5, magic resistance by 5. Okay. Hold on one second. I'm gonna catch up on chat. I wasn't ignoring you. And it looks like the server's being a bit goofy at the moment. I noticed some NPC hitching. Yep, there we go. Just like that. And I just saw Zook and Rubber Band. So we'll have to see what's up with that. Can we hear others in group for stream, or is that something too hard to get working? I think it's up to them. If Nick and Zukin want to hop into Discord, I'm happy to do that. Just let me know. Zukin says in a meeting, so stream audio is muted. So Zukin's actually in a important business meeting at the moment, and oh, Shadow Step. Okay, nice. We should do some sort of effect that makes that obvious at some point. We'll have to figure out how to make that like effect, so then we know what's going on. All right, I'm gonna get back to your questions because I feel like I've probably you feel like I'm ignoring you, and I'm not. Early access can be good for projects looking for feedback, extra money support, you suppose. McGar said, yeah, we will have to figure that balance out. Phil mentioned Facebook does reach the audience of Gen X and elder millennials, I would think. Yeah, it's as much as I don't use it, it is used. It's still used. It's still the most used. Crushes everything, Twitter, all that other crap. I'm going to scroll back down now. Bilbo said, I've been watching some worst MMO ever vids. Amazing how predatory some of those MMO cash shops are. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's a science. Regis mentioned feeling like a millionaire the first time. He looted a cracked staff and sold that bad boy. Let's see. They were born naked. Slimes ate all the armor. Now we're getting back to why are we naked. Midgard, yeah, the TLP is coming up this month. Check out the EverQuest site for the new rules and all of that stuff. For the latest infos. Rags and a blunt stick or sharp stick or something. I was just figure your first mission will be to get a weapon. And maybe you start with some food and drink, and that's about it. Everything beyond that is a problem to be solved. So, are you guys planning on playing on one of the new TLPs? Wasn't planning on it. Pretty committed to Mischief at this point. New server rules don't really grab you. Yeah, I want to get in. I like playing and I like streaming. Just that low level experience when everybody's just piling in is so much fun to me. It's so nostalgic and wonderful. I need to get the stun animation in. Let's see. DMay93 says, what changes are you looking to make to the EQ formula for your unique spin on a genre, or is the plan to make it as close to EQ as possible? So you can see that it's definitely got some inspiration there. But we're pulling from a number of games, right? And just so I can spread the potential lawsuits out, we'll mention multiple games and not just one. So Ollie pulls some inspiration from what he liked about Ultima Online. We're heavily influenced by EverQuest. Naturally, we look at some of the things that happened that were improvements or interesting sort of learnings from Classic WoW. So all of that said, I think if you look at the systems that EQ had back in the day, there were some really good systems, some of which that didn't get used in the same way in future games, that if we were to go back and take those and go even deeper with them and make them a little bit more meaningful, things like faction, taking a different approach that feels a bit more like faction with regards to religion, and allowing that to be something that's a bit more dynamic and serves as, like I said, like faction in a way that it allows you to progress, learn more about the world, have various unlocks. Combats, there's something about that original formula that feels nice in terms of pacing and tactical decision making, and so lean into that. So it's essentially like try to take the systems and behaviors and gameplay that we liked from that era, and then go deep with them. Make some tweaks here and there, but honestly, in some areas, really probably lean harder into some of the constraints and some of the challenge. So yeah, that's my general sort of hand wavy wishy washy answer for the moment, for the time being. But if you watch enough of the VODs or if you hang out with us long enough, I'll probably give you a better answer. But, you know, it really goes back to like that 70-30 or 70-20-10 sort of innovation approach where... Oh, thanks. Well, we're looking to build a base with what we know and like. There's no point in reinventing every wheel. And then use a 20-30% sort of... 20 or 30% of the development to really push into some other things that are a bit more riskier, a little bit more innovative. I wouldn't even say necessarily innovative. Just maybe the fact that they're present in this type of game makes it feel a little different. Really less worried about innovation than we are execution. And so some of that'll be incorporating mounts from the onset, but having things like pack animals and a lot of inventory constraints and limitations and a lot of distance you'll see in our maps are pretty big. And so it makes having something like a pack animal or a mount meaningful. But then also adding in the fact that your pack animal or mount can be killed and needs to be resurrected, or it just lays there and you've got to do a corpse recovery. Shit like that. So it's a lot of just playing with existing concepts and not trying to get too crazy. All right, that's my answer. I'm going to move on to other stuff in chat here. Sorry for the delay, folks. Papa Gurker said I was robbed by gnomes. That's your backstory for why you're naked. I like the backstory. Max says, hi, I've been listening to your VODs during work from YouTube recommendations, and they've been really great to listen to. I played EQ Live from 2007, and then played on EQ Titan emulator for many years as well. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you as well. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Was it the EQ VODs, or have you been checking out some of the M&M VODs? If you guys have not checked out our YouTube, check it out there. Be sure to subscribe. I think we just hit... It was funny. We were at 667 subs when I looked earlier today. And then I looked again and it was like, I don't know, it's like 675 or something like that. But it was almost... I almost looked during the devil number. Oh no. The Iron Maiden number. This crocodile hatchling is fleeing like a... We were just looking last night at movement speed. And I think we've got the updated player movement speeds. But man, the fleeing critters move so fast. Wow, Eminem will actually have spell descriptions in game. Yeah, the degree, like, I've got thoughts on like how much data is included in there, but I know it's going to be a topic that we'll have mixed opinions on the team, and so that's one that we'll have to work through. I believe, and I'm just speaking for myself, I like the idea of there being information, but not necessarily like every single number, if that makes sense. Like a nice, clear sort of explanation of what it does, but not necessarily like reading a wiki entry. And then the argument against that is, well, then people go to the wiki. Every time that argument comes up, my response is great. Great. And hopefully our wiki is thorough and cool as the P99 wiki. I love that wiki. It's very helpful. Oh, sheer warrior. Old school, run speed, blue flames for Shadow Step. I'd have to see it. I can't, for whatever reason, I can't visualize it at the moment. Maybe like how Nightcrawler does the Shadow Step thing. I am so far behind on chat. It stunned him. Thank God. That was crazy. Alright, so August Burns Phil says launches for TLPs are definitely a good event for streaming. I personally don't have enough flexibility on my work schedule to play EQ primetime. Or sorry, EU primetime. I'm a mod for Sweets though, and he plays those hours a lot for a lot of the time. If you're interested, maybe you two could group together for a launch hype, and you can enjoy it vicariously through us, experience it vicariously through us. I think that'd be fun. How big would you like the world to be? Give me some names of worlds size-wise. I don't know how to describe that to you, Papa. I would like for the world to be big enough that you feel that it provides a wonderful world sense, and it gives you a little bit of that old sense of wonder again. And we'll have to figure out exactly how big that is. But if you've watched the VODs, or if you watch us long enough, you'll see sort of the environment's art style and things like that. I'm hoping that it holds up the way that we're picturing. And I mean, even here, you know, you can see some stuff in the distance in both directions, pretty big. I feel like we're still moving pretty damn fast, but I thought that we had slowed it down last night. I don't know. But yeah, and this is just one zone of, I mean, if I can get the damn zone lines to stop breaking, it's one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then back into Night Harbor zones. And the other ones are much bigger than this even, so. Yeah. Any thoughts on why MMOs treat things like fishing as a trade skill instead of a mini game? Basically, it's usually treated as a boring activity used for progression instead of trying to make a compelling, fun mini game that people would log in just to do because it's so fun. I think one of the challenges with any mini game is after the 100th time you've done it, is it still fun? And if the team is capable of putting so much fun into a mini game, did they basically just make another game? So is it will that actually work as intended? I tend to be more of the and I think different strokes for different folks. I tend to be more of the persuasion of I like simple, just sort of click things instead of like full on mini games for interactions that I have to do a lot. So Akuji? Am I pronouncing that right? Akuji? P99? I may be pronouncing that wrong. Give me phonetics and I'll do... Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks. And thanks, Snick. Good to see you again. Rev Chumley. Glad that you're getting... glad you're getting those vibes. The intent has been met. Okay, so it's Akuji. Akuji. That makes sense. Cool. welcome. Is it Kalkenbause? Is the E at the end more German, or is it just Kalkenbaus? Is it American? Sorry, I live in Germany, and I've learned to pay attention to those E's at the end of things. My wife always reminds me. Americanized? Kalkenbaus. Alright. Oh, Kalkenbaus. I see what you did there. That's wonderful. That's one of those ones where usually I spot it like right away and then still play into it. But in this case, you definitely got me. I'm blushing a little bit. Mainly because I missed it. I did not see the Kalkenbaus. What are you guys doing? Are you guys having a conference here? What are you guys talking about? Oh, just fire beetle stuff. What's the rattlesnake doing here? Oh, promising not to bite us? Well, that's nice of him. What do we have here? A watchtower? No, it wasn't watchtower. It was just kind of a spire type thingy. Oh, I can't wait to get the new trees in. The new trees are beautiful. So we'll make a little oasis and the new trees are going to be awesome. And the shadows from the trees are awesome. Later on, if you guys are still sticking around, then we can run over to, we'll zone over to the new Night Harbor zone and show you the trees that Pattis has been working on. Uh-oh, what are these guys doing? They look like trouble. Let me con them. They're indifferent. That's good. Oh, they're bums. Let's see. Akuji said, glad to be here. I came across Zukin's art station a few weeks ago looking at his troll scopes and then stumbled onto this last night and then saw that he joined the team. So cool. Oh, badass. That's a very cool way to arrive here. Monster diplomacy. I love the comment that was made. I think it was on the FOH forums or something about the ogre in the robes, the ogre diplomat. It's so good. Not that I read forums. Oh, we got a stumbling zombie on you. Oh, on me. Ow. What's he con? Ah, he's red. Let's run. Why did he stop? Did he get rooted? Is he just... He's just stopping? Oh, sorry, Nick. I missed the, he's just chilling back there. So the Bowels asked, this looks amazing. How long you been working on it? So we started like hey, why don't we make a game, and opened up like Blender for the first time like September of 2020. And yeah, so September, we'll count September as our 2-year mark. And a lot of that early time was just getting the tech up and running and refactoring the tech and doing a lot of sort of behind the scenes. Oh, we got a zone. All right. So I'm going to cheat in zone. To the dungeon. Oops. I'm going to make myself a GM and then I'm going to cheat in zone. Instead of zoning in. Papa said, got here via Nathan Napalm's YouTube video covering us. That's nice as well. Eminem needs forums someday. You like forums? Bunny, I'm not really a big fan of forums, but maybe I'm an outlier. Again, to me, it's like forums already covered. There are other forums out there. How many people are working on this? Roughly 10, 11. I say roughly because really depends on how you define working and whether or not what I do counts as work. Let's see. When you get trees in, you should have a steep dune like that lined up so that if you have a run speed boost, you can just barely land on a treetop. Seems like a noble goal. Swingburn, thank you for the follow. Hot topic today. Forums? What's going on, Ryan? Yeah, so our sound and music guy. Oh, no. If what you do counts as work. Yeah. Are you saying it's a topic here, or did you have that topic in your life as well, outside of the stream? Oh, I want this loot. If I can. As Nick just filed a new bug for the pixel hunting on the looting. Ryan said I'm constantly talking about it, to be honest. Fair enough. Yeah. It's So, our sound guy, Robert, who is an actual rock star, he is currently with his band touring the UK. Got 10 shows in the UK, but before he went on this most recent tour, he made this music that you're listening to in the background, and the skeleton laugh, and the skeleton death, and some other stuff. So, progress. Ryan says I'm constantly talking about how can I be like Shawn? Ah, I see what you're saying now. Don't be like me. Just be you, Ryan. So, Cathadian, those of you that are EQ nerds, sorry, not Cathadian, different person. Katerin here in chat is Ryan Barker, of Fire Right-Hand fame, and he was the spell guy amongst other things while I was on the team, and then he was the lead forever and all that stuff. Cathadian, yes, you are here as well. I messed up. I'm starting to think they might have had a point with the whole Fire Right-Hand thing. Let me switch weapons since I got a different weapon. Can I not use it? I didn't even check. Oh, it's two-handed, so I'd have to drop my torch. But let's do it. You're using HERP? Yes, we are. Do you think that the lore will be inspired by decisions you make for the game? That is, will the lore be informed by gameplay decisions you end up making rather than having an artificial story pinned to it? I think the lore is very much about building a world. Naturally there are quests, there are things to motivate your actions, but it's not an epic storyline. It's more about being a place. And in that place, things happen. Swingburn, I'm glad you appreciate the laugh. Does that make sense? All right. So I think I'm caught up. I think I'm caught up on messages for the most part. You didn't think you did a great job of communicating your question? You can always ask another question. They're free. Are these new sounds? Yeah. They're sounds that we've had but haven't didn't have implemented, so we just got them in. Nick was commenting that he thinks the gnome should be a bit bigger. I mean, at the moment the gnome is also floating, so it's really small, so I could definitely see that. But, so my concern is that we get enough, that we maintain the distinction between, we've got a number of races, right? So we want to make sure that we don't muddy them all up in the middle. So... But think about it, like the gnome's floating off the ground, almost a leg length at the moment. We have this bug that keeps reappearing that makes him float. And so, he's tiny. It should be one head bigger, a gnome-sized head or a normal-sized head. Bunny was one of the, if not the first person to follow the stream when we started. And so Bunny has been working on lore with me and then with me and Hamad since the beginning. Bunny went on a little hiatus and now Bunny is back. Was the choice for POC zones being desert due to being easier to build out? Rev, when we first, I think when I was like just screwing around in Blender the first time, I was thinking about how recognizable and nostalgic certain desert zones are for a lot of people, and yeah, plus they seemed a little bit simpler. So, and now people are complaining that there's too much brown, of course. It's too brown. Well, just you wait. We'll address that. Yeah. It's funny. One of the first few streams that Hamad watched, he did like a quick sketch because I was having problems with dunes shapes, and he did a quick sketch and it helped a ton. Do we take volunteers? We do not. We appreciate people being a part of the community. We try to engage in Discord as much as possible. There's a lot of good stuff that comes up in Discord that we can learn from. We appreciate people volunteering to go get the word out, letting all their friends and family and guilds know. And then when it comes to work, as we identify specific needs or specific people, like there will be times where we spot somebody in the community that has like a certain skill set, and kind of a approach that we can recognize, etc. And then, you know, there's potential that I may reach out if we've got that need. Like if somebody's a world-class animator or something right now, we could I could probably reach out to you if we watch how you interact with folks in Discord and team, and we realize you're good people, then yeah. Now later on, who knows? And then our goal is to try to get this thing playable and community ready as quickly as possible. So that makes sense. But it's always really amazing when people ask if they can help. It's very nice. It's a very cool opportunity to have people actually want to help. So thank you. I forgot to buff myself. Let's see. Dark Inside said, LOL, it's too brown, bro. It's not even pre-alpha. Like what? It's fine. I mean, a byproduct of the whole developing in sort of plain sight with the community, seeing everything that we do, is that, you know, it creates opportunity for people to provide feedback like that. And sometimes, you know, it's good feedback, and sometimes it's like, whatever. Yeah, I mean, Goblin here in chat reached out and had a bunch of like sort of feedback. And ideas and a portfolio, and filled a need that we had. So Ding. Nick and I are level up buddies. Is the laugh Robert's voice? I think that's how he did it. Is that a crying baby sound when a skeleton dies? No, it's him going, ah. If you guys are ever after partner Twitch streamers to basically play nothing but this game, give me a ring. It's probably happening either way, so right on. Definitely don't let us slip on that as we're further along. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Will lore be delivered mostly through items and extra game sources similar to EQ? Yeah, interaction with NPCs, items, books, notes, and things that you find. Item naming, NPC location, NPC aggro text, NPC death text. Wish I had a throw item or a bow. I would have tagged him just then. Promise. Honest. I just spotted the project and I'm intrigued with what you guys have accomplished with such a small team. Recently started programming, so figured I would see if you took volunteers to see maybe if I could get my feet wet and learn more stuff. One thing I can say is if you hop into our Discords, both the project Discord and then my stream Discord, if you're working on stuff, have questions, need ideas, whatever, people have been pretty good about helping folks out on that front. We've had a number of people, you know, explore game design and art and game programming and stuff in our community. So we're always happy to help when we can. Oh, cool. Thank you for joining the Discords. Yeah, the community's been really, really good. It's been super rare that we've had somebody that was kind of cantankerous or generally being an asshole or whatever. We try to make sure that doesn't happen. Zook can sit. He's not your dog, Nick. Leafo8 said you just killed something that has a similar death sound to the D2 sorcerer. Tell him around and that scared the shit out of me. You're playing hardcore? Sorry. That is an unfortunate coincidence. Oh, pop. Oh, you got some new fiction up, Nicodemus? Goblin said, can't wait to get more races in this game. Think we'll do the next 3 races female. I mean, we can. Why not? When we start doing additional races, I think we should get more of the POC specific NPCs done before we invest much more in player characters. The reason why we went with Gnome, Ogre, and Human is default. Gnome is going to be our smallest race, Ogre our biggest race, and so that should help us with understanding the player controller and camera and environment creation and all of that stuff. But the goal isn't to necessarily go very broad on races straight out of the gate, until we get all the systems figured out. Like we still don't have, we don't have player characters complete, right? Like we don't have customization functioning, and I can't customize my character at character create. I don't think we've got robed characters fully working yet, right? So all of that stuff, all that needs to get done. POC, the proof of concept. If you guys hear POC, I'm not using the Twitter term. I'm using it means proof of concept in our world. Named. So the whole, like, getting the stuff that we need in for proof of concept first and foremost, and get basic sort of character stuff worked out. Does your widest and thinnest race not have implication to the environment, or do you expect all areas to accommodate all shape sizes? No, we already have areas that are restricted based off of size. The ogres can't fit through some areas. It's a little bit of, well, gnomes have the same jump height as everybody else at the moment, so that's not a problem. But gnomes can fit through weird like places already, so. You do have robed ogres though, and for that we are grateful. He's very sophisticated. I did a breakdown on ogres for Zukin earlier. Maybe I should show it. Way down the line when we do, before we do our next player character, like new race, I think it would also be good for us to get female humans and human females, because that's also 100% needed for proof of concept. Well, female dwarves have beards. It's likely there will be a beard option for female dwarves. I guess some people are into that. Just speaking personally, it's not as big of a thing for me. But it seems like one of those things we gotta do. Dargit said, don't kink shame me with the female dwarf. Oh, I didn't say there was anything wrong with it. I said it's not as much of a thing for me. I mean, I've had a Red Bull earlier. If it was like 3 or 4 beers instead, maybe I'd be telling a different story. Not the weekend, buddy. The snake kick animation. It's gonna be a really good one. It'll be very subtle. Most critical problem in any game is body blocking NPCs. How do you intend to solve such an egregious issue? Is that really the most critical problem? I know I'm trying to I'm trying to straight face you. Guys, I'm not holding my torch. Don't leave me. Oh geez, you got stunned. You did stunned arms. You know, Nick, if you're in Discord, I would see your messages. When you're like, let's move, I would hear it. I would hear it with my ears. I would see it with my But then I'd also be able to hear his tone. Where he's like, auto attack, auto attack, Shawn. Oh my god, he got the stanky leg. You guys see this? We need to switch the soundtrack all of a sudden. He's not giving up. He's not giving up. He will not die. The Trident model looks good. Thank you. I actually made that as a part of a bunch of basically all this crap that we're holding. All of these weapons that you see in game is actually the original sword. And I moved some verts around. Oh my goodness. He just stunned the shit out of me. I just moved some verts around one afternoon and made a bunch of items. And so now we have them. One of these days I should sit and make some more items. Let's see. I'm reading now. Sorry guys. I got quiet. I was reading. Are the spell effects new? Dargus? No. We've had the spell effects for about a year. We just at one point they weren't showing, I think. Something happened. So but yeah, these were very placeholder spell effects I made last year. Oh, sound effects. Yeah, sound effects are relatively new. What'd you say? I didn't see anything about it. I haven't had a chance to catch up on the project 100% yet, but you don't intend to have any kind of bizarre auction house, right? Correct. Dargus responded with, they talked about having a kind of order system where you can make agreements with other players to sell stuff for you. So it'd be a manual type of EC. So we've talked a little bit about putting in containers like bags and other containers that players could have that allow, essentially it serves as kind of an escrow system. If you search our Discord for it, you'd probably find a longer write-up on it. I don't want to butcher the description at the moment, but essentially I can give you something on consignment in a way where you can't rip me off, but you still have to do the legwork. It's essentially turning, it's trying to keep that kind of like EC tunnel manual sales set up, but with the ability for players to consign items in a safe way. Nice, we're finally about to get beat up a fair bit. Where's the bronze armor? Dude, I'm level 3. I'm just getting started. I've got no armor. I've got one glove on. So, let's see. Here's my item. I won 10k. You sell it for 12k. I get my 10k. You get 2k for wheeling and dealing and selling it well. Something like that. Yeah, basically Belfaster with ooh. With a bit of security built in. So if the seller tries to delete the item, then it's returned if you know, it takes a certain amount of time, it's returned, stuff like that. We'll have to actually work through the kinks, but that's our starting point. Just thought paralyzed spell stopping a player mid-animation is kind of a cool effect. When it wears off, have the character finish the animation before doing a new action. Interesting. I'd be curious. I'd be curious if it would be that hard. It may be. It may wind up being one of those things that's easier than it sounds, just by, I don't know, firing something off in the animation system. Because it's not like it'd be a new animation, it would just be like a new... it'd be basically an interaction with it. No, the escrow system doesn't make any sense. They finally got rid of it in DCU as it was pointless because nobody could buy anything from anywhere, and then most people couldn't afford to repair their gear. I don't know what you're talking about. In terms of... I think you may be confused. Also, 3 O's and 3 exclamation marks is, that's pretty extreme. Let's see. Seek and Destroy says if you want to model the freeze frame, you could toggle animator off for a second. Yeah, it seems like something like that would work. Seems like something like that could work. Again, I gotta remember not to... I don't want to forget that. Actually, I'll just make a note here. I'll type it into my notes. It's funny, you can't see my Slack, and I'm not going to show you, but as we're playtesting, there are issues just popping up that Nick filing. We got a Cleric around the corner. He died while stunned. Maybe that's why it bugs out like this. Nick said yes. Let's see. I mean, our default is basically if the escrow concept for whatever reason and some of the other things we have in mind for player merchants don't work out, then we'll just keep it simple. It'll be very EC tunnel. That'll be that. Works well enough on P99. And if you like, you could even set up your own Twitch channel for trade chat, auction channels. Yeah, Bunny just sent me a link for, looks like RuneScape's item lending system. I will read that when I'm done here tonight, but it seems similar. I can imagine having a bulletin board and say Kano's with one of the buy order, and you could accept it and then have to fill the order within 5 minutes. Then over in Freeport, somebody selling that item at a lower price, you get paid to backpack it across the world. Would finally give Squire one day a reason to escort players. So we do want to try to find ways to encourage caravans and things like that. The escrow system limited you to only having like 1,500 or 15,000 cash, and when you hit that limit, it goes in a sort of escrow bank system. No, we're talking about different things, Dark Inside. We're talking about different things. Breathe. Breathe. Listen to me. Breathe. Okay. Yeah, I think we're talking about different things, Dark Inside. Belfaster said, escrow in this context is holding the item in a safe place while transactions are made. So it would be in the position or in the possession of the trader in this case, but it would be safe from the trader doing any sort of hinky shit. And trust me, I've got the feeling that this system will wind up being one of those ones where if we don't find like significant design flaws in it, we still probably find like weird exploits and bugs and all sorts of other stuff, but it seems it's on the list of things to try that are new. So why not? So it's all good. We always have a fallback position. We always have a fallback position. I gotta say, aside from the T-posing and stuff and the fact that we're freaking naked, overall, looking pretty good in here. This is a decent experience already. I like it. Droop said my guildies on P99 set of trade bots was kind of fancy. Have 4 or 5 bots, can manipulate sell prices and stuff. Buy low, sell high with different things set in the script. Main dude who set it up was super smart. This was years ago. Did they move around and stuff? Yeah, I mean, right now we're using, I think we just retargeted Ogre Run onto Gnome. I don't think it's the Gnome Run. So, we're doing some retargeting at the moment. There's a lot of animation work in progress. Oh my gosh, I just punched the mic. I'm sorry for your ears. Thank you, Dark Inside. Akuji? That's very kind of you to say. They said, I'm very confident whatever solution you guys come up with will be very much in the spirit of what this community has been looking for a very long time. That is very kind. We're going to try. That's all we can do. Try and show you as we go, and if we do some shit, you're going to see it. As soon as it's in here, you'll see it, right? You won't have to wait months and months and years to see our mistakes. You can immediately go, oh my god, what is this? No! 3 O's, 3 exclamation marks. Now I'm just going to get you to calm down. And breathe. MBGT says, I'm shocked at how quickly you guys can make progress. You must have excellent project management skills. No, we don't. We've been like anti-project management. We just have people that are, hopping in and making progress. We've been very loose on project management. Occasionally to folks' apprehension. But Gnome really only has the idle animation of its own. Everything else is retargeted from our other races. There you go. If you've noticed the trend, I'm going to read out every compliment. I'm going to be like, oh, thank you. Oh, your hair. Wait a second. Your hair's there? Your hair's not there. Folks means me, Nick, yes. I didn't know y'all were that far into development. Magical toupee? Yeah, it's a feature. It's been prioritized pretty high. I don't know how the hell I was... Is it the camera? Was the camera clipping it? No, it's just... I did something. Oh, it's when he was sitting. Oh, jeez. Oh, okay. I didn't con these guys. Apparently they're just pushovers. But in all fairness, Nick, you were not the only person to propose and ask for and talk about project management. Timflo, hello. Just so you don't think I was picking on you. I kind of was, but lovingly. I think modern software development workflows aren't always the best for game development anyways. Strict adherence to arbitrary design process just because it's the way things are done now, detrimental to a point. I mean, there's value, but I think the other challenge too is it's an all volunteer team, right? And so there's certain things that when they come up, people are like a little bit, you know, kind of, ooh, this is shiny, and they want to work on it, and they're passionate about doing it. And so if we tried to have like very strict kind of sprints set up, or you know, very, very strict project management, and I say strict because in order for project management to work, there's got to be there's got to be some sort of accountability built into it, no matter how soft. And there's got to be this idea of, all right, so we are taking this specific path, whatever we've committed to for this period of time, in a way that's relatively predictable. And there are definitely benefits to that, and I do think that as a team we could probably do a better job of that. On the flip side, there have been so many times now where somebody has been like, hey, I want to do this other thing, and it eats up time that may be dedicated to the thing that we've kind of informally committed to doing. And that other thing winds up being just like, it's brilliant, it's very cool, it's inspiring. And then there you know, again, this is for the most part, it's people working on top of their, you know, their day job. And everybody, you know, for the most part, it's like managing either another job, or they're managing family, or they've just got, you know, they played a ton out of whatever they're playing, or right, they've got lives, and so again, it's a situation where when shit pops up and it's like, oh, this just happened, and somebody, you know, has to disappear for a few days or a few weeks, or in some cases a few months, then all right. And then the other thing too is, again, on the accountability front, you know, we can definitely be like, hey, if you want to be on the team, you've got to deliver on your promises, or on your commitments. But I also think that there's just a certain reality with us, you know, being volunteers, passion project. You know, we're all a bunch of quirky personalities as well. So yeah, I mean, that said, I'm happy with the level of progress. To be honest with you though, if you know, if we took a different approach with project management, if we took a different approach with holding ourselves accountable and pushing in certain areas or whatever, could we be further along? Absolutely. But for the most part, you know, happy with the pace and happy with where we're at. And I'm happy that some of the stuff has taken as long as it has over the last year and a half, just because of the, you know, people that eventually got on the team, right? Like, it's taken a certain amount of time, and I tend to believe that shit just kind of works for a reason sometimes. And so, you know, it's been great to have the team come together the way it has, and have the various people that have shown up. You know, because we've doubled the size of the team in under a year, or maybe even, yeah, I'd say doubled plus. But it's great now, you know, having everybody that's come on the team since back when it was just the original like 4 or 5 of us. So it's all good. Keep giving us those compliments about how fast we're moving, and then keep checking in a couple times a week for the next couple of months, and then let's see if your energy level stays up, or if you realize, I think somebody had mentioned, I don't know if it's in Discord or in here or in somebody's streams. I watch so much stuff. Setting expectations from not being, maybe was it you, Keith, that was like, this isn't a sprint. Like, we want to move fast, and we want to get you guys in playing as quickly as possible, but this is a marathon, and proof of concept is just one chunk. Getting the game to the point where it feels like it's, you know, more of a release level full game is a whole nother big chunk, and a lot. There's going to be a lot to making that like feasible. But we're trying to use proof of concept to help us learn about sort of the logistical considerations, so that maybe we can do stuff like outsourcing, etc., to do it. And then once the game's live, then it's an MMO, right? It's going to be around for 30 years. Yeah, or it was Keith. He said, treating it like a sprint. I can only imagine how you guys feel after a year, 2 years or more. For me, it's just moved it's moved quickly, right? Like, it doesn't feel like 2 years at all. Again, it's all about our personal expectations. I mean, but I've been in 5-year development, you know, scenarios before. Tim Flo, did I thank you for the follow? Thank you for the follow. What are your thoughts on Levitate? I always found it weird, but wondered if it's something you did or did not want in the game. The basic spell line, I think, is fine. Ollie's not a big fan of Levitate in sort of the EQ form. I think that ability to just be able to float forever like that is extremely broken, like powerful. And so I feel like it should be reserved for way later. That's like very high level. But ideas, essentially advancing it through like very short duration levitates, very limited. You know, basically allows you a form of safe fall, maybe a limited sort of levitate that gets progressively better, but with a steep drop off, that type of stuff. So I think with a lot of the abilities, one of the things that I'd love for us to explore is just the idea of taking some of those base concepts and stretching them out a fair bit. So over time, the progression feels a lot more, you know, it's all on the same spell line, but it feels like you're progressing. It should be non-combat only? I don't know, it's got to be that restrictive. But there could be a version where if you get hit, you drop. Ooh. Is Secrets part of the dev team? No, but Secrets is a good friend of the team. Secrets has been around since the days of us first even joking about making a game, and could have sworn I think, Nick, did you meet Ollie through Secrets? Yeah, so. Secrets is a chaos mage used for dark consulting purposes. Yeah, Secrets is good people. I have an interview on my on a Loving Robot, the EQ dev interviews. I have an interview with Secrets. If you haven't checked that one out, you really should. Secrets is good people. It's kind of interesting, like the number of friends. You know, I'm always very cautious to use the term friends because I'm very quick to call somebody my friend, but I always feel weird calling people my friend because of just, well, my autism, so I don't really relate well with people in that regard. So I always feel like maybe I'm overstepping if I say someone is my friend. I don't want them to be like weird about it. But anyways, you know, the people that I've met through this process has been very cool. And I would consider them friends. I'm always happy when people are like, oh, we're friends. I'm like, oh, that's great. I like friends. Seem like a cool person during an interview? Yeah, absolutely. Secrets to Tech P, though? Yes. Yeah, so is that the link? Yeah, there we go. So click that link. That is the interview. And it says here, my guest for the stream was Secrets, a member of the EverQuest EQ emulation community. Who has contributed to EQ Emu. I always say that wrong. Created the Classless server series and works full time as an engineer in the games industry. It's a fun one. What kind of hammer is this? Oh, it's rusty mace. I like that. I'm gonna destroy this item. Man, I love seeing spell effects in the distance and stuff. That's so much fun. Oh, Skeletal Deacon. That sounds interesting. I like it. When we get the new sprites and stuff like that in and we do some more spell effects work, then it'll be even better. Aku said, it's a troll shaman main. Sal, Lev, and Viz with such a nice travel combo. Once you finally unlock it, it feels like the whole world opens up. You feel just kind of godly. But it doesn't unlock very late. Well, I don't know shaman. I know I got a little halfling druid because I never played a druid before on P99. And when's it unlocked for her? Like 14 or 16 or something like that? It's pretty early. But I mean, it's having played classes without that, like it's amazing just how powerful you feel. Boom, from that point forward. Yeah. We gotta get this stun anime in. I think someone posted earlier, do you think you'll have unique class races from EQ? Well, we already have some unique stuff. This Deacon's no joke. I haven't really been paying full attention. I looked up at my health bar and was like, alright. You brute. I think Zukin's in a meeting. We got this. I'm gonna sit by Zukin. Nick's trying to get me killed. MBGT says, I adore your interpretations of the Wood Elf. It's nice not having everything look exactly like the human. You can blame that on Goblin. Goblin was like, what about this take? And I was like, I don't know, Goblin. I'm not very comfortable with that. Goblin was like, no, really, it's good. Like, I don't know. What does everybody else think? That makes me nervous. I think that was my response. Or I was like, oh, it seems, seems good, but, what would the neighbors think? You like that Goblin is confident in his designs? I do too, until I've got to say no. Then I'm like, damn it, I wish Goblin wasn't so confident in his designs. Now I gotta talk him out of it. We should hide here and let Zukin take care of that for us. And by take care of that, I mean pull every single one of them over to us. No, these guys aren't very strong. That skeletal paladin just came up the stairs like, what the hell's going on here? Do you not have backstab damage in yet? No, we do. I mean, this guy's yellow to us. What is this developed in? C#. 9 halt. 9 halt. Are you German 9 halt? Bist du Deutsch, mein Freund? What more needs to be done with this newbie dungeon for it to be done? I'd say there's probably a more sort of detailed pass with regards to objects, environment, like geo. Probably going to be some geo modification, but overall it looks good on that front. Objects will probably need to... I shouldn't say probably. Full itemization, pass, additional like layout changes, as Nick just mentioned. We'll probably go through and look at. Oh, that's pretty back there. Interactive objects. Getting other systems online, so like the interactive objects, maybe some traps and things like that. Itemization will probably grow as we start to throw like quest items and other stuff like that on as well, so it needs to be tied back to the main city. Excuse me. Do you intend on having fire and ice giant? Midgard, yes. And you'll probably even see some desert giants. Not sure if they'll be sand giants. Yeah. Oh, Ninehold said, nah, stole my name. Stole the name Ninehold Steiger from Samurai Showdown, which I'm told should be more like Keinhold Steiger. Oh. So still German. Is this dungeon in Pro Builder? I believe it was done in Pro Builder. I'm not sure whether or not Pattis pulled it into Maya or not. Be sure to give, if you folks are new here, if there are any new folks in here, which there appear to be sure to give Nick, Pattis, Goblin, Zukin, that's all I have on my list, follows as well. So you'll see character work done on Zukin's stream. So modeling, texture work, animation. You'll see a variety of different things on Goblin stream. So concept art, texture work, occasionally modeling, occasionally animation, maybe some UI work. Pattis, environment work for the most part. And Nick, oh, he is running. Nick, you'll see design work, QA work. And, yeah. If you don't follow him for some reason, I don't know why you would not do that, but if you don't follow him for some reason, I also host him, so just keep an eye out. If you're in our Discord, which you should be, you can see when we are kicking off a stream. And then we try to post the videos on YouTube. I've been a little bit slack on that front. Apologies. But they eventually make their way to YouTube. So if you're new here and you enjoy the stream and you like this, you know, generally just sort of this sort of freeform, tonight's a playtest, but which we're going to be doing more of, but just sort of freeform discussion while poking at stuff and yada yada, like if you're at work or whatever, definitely check out the YouTube. At this point, it's got to be, I wouldn't be shocked if it's like hundreds of hours. And you can see some of the evolution of the game. We don't have the old VODs. Like, I didn't think about it and I didn't realize that Twitch was just going to delete them over time, so some of that is lost history. Yeah. But as you can see, the game is very playable. It's pretty damn complete with regards to just sort of the core loop and basic. Nick's been hammering out abilities and getting gameplay in. You can see here, you know, basic systems, the death loop, looting. All that stuff. Looking forward to the roadmap update. I've got a note on my whiteboard. I just need to get it done. We're gonna change the format of the roadmap. So we're gonna change the format of the roadmap, but it'll let you know sort of what we've just done, and I'm not gonna blab about it too much. You'll see. For those of you that don't know where to find it, look on the FAQ of our website. It'll link to the roadmap. It's not like super precise. I think the best way to keep up is just watch the streams. But you'll get a basic understanding of scope and things like that. Given the way that games are data mined these days, do you plan on implementing any kind of obfuscation to prevent itemized details such as each weapon, yada yada yada, making it to the wiki moment slot? Yeah. So, first of all, most of that will reside in our database, not the client. So, there won't be like an easy method of extraction other than to just play and get it. Oh, these feel nice. This is feeling deadly, which is nice. Oof. What is that behind me? Is it another paladin? Oh man, these heals. And I'm not using slam in an intelligent manner. I've just been randomly clicking buttons instead of actually using my abilities to the best of my ability. All right. We finally got killed. That was a long time in the making. 1 hour and 56 minutes, and that's our first death. This game is too easy. Well, we conveniently are going to zone back because that's going to be... That's how we got there, so... But getting our corpses will be a different story. Let me remember to actually reload my abilities. That was on me as well, like I didn't use a single slam in an intentional manner. We've never done a legit corpse run? It's true. We should do it. Can I imagine what it was like being the first one to stumble across Siren's Grotto back in the day? Yeah, I mean, we'll do what we can with regards to trying to keep the art obfuscated, but we'll see. I mean, it just seems like it'll wind up being an arms race, but not my area of expertise. We'll see what happens. We might have to ask for help from a higher level player. If only such a thing existed. Nick may have to log in as rogue and pull our corpses. And he's off. Where is Zukin? Is he... Oh shit. No light source. Oh, he's got IVU. Yeah, this piece of cake. Nick's got IVU. I totally forgot about it. I don't know what I was thinking. Everything in here is undead. This is my kind of playing. This is where I just sit there and wait. Gnomes, we don't have any racial visions or anything in game yet. Keith. Bunny said, and Mabinogi, am I probably butchering the name? Every zone was sealed off at one point, and the first person to break the seal has their character name permanently on the zone line. Stuff like that's fine. Or, sorry, not fine, fun. I liked little things like that in EQ2 with regards to the crafting and things. Created by. Need a Eminem trauma team card in game. Bunch of ogres, thugs, and a healer rush to your corpse for a fee. Oh my god, look at my sad little body. That was kind of sad seeing me come around the corner. Brex said, are you able to use the large races as a temporary mount yet? Hey, what's up, Brex? Not yet. Not yet. That's it's a lower priority feature, but we're going to. In terms of funding, I assume you're trying to avoid having an out-of-touch investors pushing for increasing profits year over year. We all know what that can bring. What plans do you have to ensure development can continue at a good pace? Well, what's going on here? Oh. That scared the shit out of me, Nick. Is that? Wait. That's not Nick. Who is that? Is that Pattis? He scared me. So the goal is for us to be able to, or for us to continue to bootstrap the way we have been. And then from there, we'll look at essentially, we'll look at what our needs are, right? Like we want to try to get through proof of concept. If we can continue to develop proof of concept without like heavy expenditures to outsourcing or contractors, then what we'll look at is how much content do we actually have in proof of concept. Our proof of concept is actually pretty big, but if we find that because of the approach that we're taking, we're able to make enough content, which has kind of been the goal. You're looking at the fidelity of content that we have right now, right? And so if we find that we're able to make this kind of content at a reasonable rate and provide a decent initial experience, then what we may do is move into something that is more of an early access and use the money that does come in to both compensate the team in different cases to an appropriate degree while investing in expanding the sort of throughput or bandwidth that we have as a team through outsourcing. So we've talked to at least one really good outsourcing studio that did some assets for us that nail our style in the past, and talked a little bit about basically arrangements that we could potentially make once we're further along. So our goal is to get further along, and then hopefully they continue to be available, and if not, then hopefully we can find someone similar. And inevitably, as we're getting to the point where we're looking at getting more of the game done, then we'll also look at the best way to expand our capacity in terms of team and things like that. Sorry, I got to give it a little bit of a non-answer and sneeze. Oh, Nick shrank. Now he's almost as small as I am levitated. Now he's a tiny skeleton. That sit animation looks good on the skeleton. So, I mean, the other thing that we could do, potentially, we may see is, like, the goal is to have a game, but not have the whole game, right? And so when we get to a point where we have the game, then the question is, does it make sense to go early access and get, you know, basically money from the community in that way? Because, well, now we've got a thing. We're not stringing you along. We're not saying, hey, you know, we're not doing core feature development. We're not doing core gameplay development. Yeah, we're always going to be tuning and twisting things around a bit, and, you know, like, I don't know why I said twisting things around, but be tuning and polishing and shit. But it's essentially just improving on something that's tangible, and then making more of it. And we'll have a pretty good understanding of what our target is in terms of quality, and the amount of it, etc. And so it's easier to talk to outsourcers or other people. If we find that we feel that it makes sense to not take your money, we still want to have people in playing with us, right? Because it just hardens the game. It makes sure that all of our support systems, like reporting and customer service tools and server stability and all that other stuff, is working well. But we may find that we don't want to take money, but we do want to pursue some sort of investment, right? Like, once we have the proof of concept, as Keith is saying, like the vertical slice, then maybe we talk to somebody who is in alignment with what we're trying to make, understand sort of what the deal would be financially, and where our priorities are, etc. Thanks, Nick, for paying better attention to my inventory than me. You're hungry, and I'm not even looking. Yeah, so we'll look at those different options. But the main priority is having a game. What are my thoughts on indie publishers? Devolver, Team 17. Team 17 I don't know as well. I like Devolver a lot. Their inspiration. Mike, one of the founders of Devolver, I think he's still part of Devolver. I know he's got a new company that's doing games to help improve mental health, like that are kind of like medical. Well, they're just meant to improve mental health. That's their like mission statement. Anyways, Mike's always been a super solid guy. I met him when I lived in Austin, and he's a good guy. And so, yeah, somebody like that. I mean, I would love for us to eventually become like Devolver. So NWC, you know, being able to invest in interesting indie teams at some point would be really badass. But for the time being, I think if we find the right partner, the other thing too is, guys, it may not seem like it. I mean, depending on what, you know, MMO content creators you talk to or whatever, you watch, for the scale of game that we're making and the type of game that we're making, you know, I think when people generalize about MMOs and are like, oh, there's no way you can make an MMO for, you know, less than $30 million and blah, blah, blah. They're really talking about like AAA, big team, bigger budget games, right? For us, when it comes down to it, for the kind of content that we're making, for the art style that we have, for what we've already got in place, when it comes time to scale our content, we don't need what I think a lot of people assume you need in order to pull it off. If you guys are generally, if you think we're heading in the right direction, keep in mind that, like, a lot of this stuff, you know, the vast majority of it was it's placeholdery, first pass. I mean, hell, the weapons that you see, like I said earlier, the weapons that you see I made in an afternoon, and I'm not an artist. The spell effects you see, with the exception of a few that like Nick made, again, we banged those out on stream sometime last year pretty quickly, and I'm not an effects artist. It was just getting the placeholder stuff in, and then once it's in, we're gonna polish this stuff up pretty quickly, right? Like, so the project's been more about like having a do-it-yourself sort of ethic and being willing to be like, oh, you know, before we had Pattis and Zukin and Goblin on a team, you know, before we had artists on a team, it's like, I'm just gonna make this shit real quick and let's go. And then now we have stuff to polish, right? Same thing with, you know, animations. We're starting to get more of that in. Stuff that I worked on. Clearly, I'm not an animator. I'm not trying to be critical of any of the other ones, but so the zone, yeah. So Pattish just said the zone that we're running around in, which you've only seen part of, was 23 hours worth of work from his end so far. So. Merked103, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you being here. Too hot said Danny DeVito elf baby. Is that what you think I am? I think that's accurate. Danny DeVito from It's Always Sunny though. I tried to interrupt him. My ability missed. Did you see It's Always Sunny guys have a podcast now? I didn't. That does sound fun. Remind me to look that up. Or send me a link or something, buddy. Well, I keep missing on this on my slam, so. Is it just me, or is it sort of hard to tell what your target is? The name flash is pretty subtle. Impact VR said, man, that chat looks just like EQ. Need a target wheel at the bottom of the map? Oh, I dislike that. I don't know. That's too much UI in game. Like in the scene. I remember watching Danny DeVito in Taxi. It looks the same back then as he does now. Man, Taxi, that is a blast from the past. Oh, wow. Got one down. How do you feel about arrows next to name? It's better than a wheel on the ground, I think. I'm not picking on you, Drew. I was just expressing my opinion. I could see. What about just a different color on the name? Why can't we just make the name a different color? Wouldn't that work? Is that weird? Almost impossible to see what you're targeting in a raid otherwise. 50 plus people, a dozen or more mobs. Gets hectic. Needs something to help you see what you have targeted, wheel or otherwise. I think that's also probably why I'm not super excited about the idea of 50 plus people and a bunch of mobs. I think if that scenario is more of an exception to the rule, then you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Shawn just had his camera position weird. Yeah, I also didn't have it scrolled out at all, right? Like I was like in this weird where I'm comfortable. We get custom name tag colors, by the way. We haven't talked about it on UI. I don't know. We should talk about it in Slack. This here won't be optimal for that conversation. Took a while, but I ended up liking the extended target window on live. I could see it as a skill-based system like tracking where you can improve your combat awareness and have better sense of mobs in camp. You guys always feel free to throw stuff like that out in Discord, and we'll take a look. And then some of the stuff where we want to just debate internally first. Oh. Any plans for VR support in this game? Nope, no plans for VR support. We're just gonna focus on... Yeah, I guess I do have my camera in a weird... Like, it's been like this the whole time, huh? I wonder why. It just feels nice like this. But yeah, I can't see shit. I'm role-playing a gnome. Maybe that's... I'm doing it again. No, it's... I think if I'm anywhere near a wall, it's gonna do it, right? Will there be a first-person mode? Yeah. I'm so tiny. I'm mainly just... I'm looking at knees. If I was a little bit taller, I'd be looking at his, I'd be looking at his pelvis, so... Because I'm a gnome. Kneecaps? I see what you did there. Did I get left? I think, what did Pattis post earlier? I think we just crossed like the 900 or was it 800 person mark. Let me look. 900 members in Discord. That's badass. You guys. That's so cool. Nick did a fantastic job setting up the Discord as well. Very professionally done. I need to borrow you to help me fix up my Discord one day, Nick. The A Loving Robot Discord's mainly going to be about gardening soon. We're hopefully getting a garden this weekend. I'm very excited about it. I'll be posting pictures. Oh, Dichi. Doing good, how are you? Nikon's red to me. Curry. Well, that looks, Zukin. Goblin. The human sit from a gnome point of view looks a bit. We should probably avoid that and delete the VOD. But we're doing it live, folks. This is how you find things like that. Yeah, I know I stream very odd hours for a lot of you. I do realize that some of you have things to do during the day. Just some shirtless bros killing skellies in a dungeon. It's normal. It's normal. Rev, I see what you did there. Let's look at my set. Just a cacophony of feet. I'm a work from home game dev. Your hours are perfect for me. No one home to ask me to fix anything or take out the trash. Fair enough. Yeah, I think more people work from home. I think that's a good thing. We've been talking about better support for work from home for 10, 15 years. And it's finally come to be. What's your favorite race? What class will you be playing at launch? Favorite race? Gnome? We'll have to see on class. Are we getting loot? Yeah. I haven't been clicking on it right. Worst part of working from home is staying on task. Well, if you can focus in bursts, I mean, it's as good as being at work and like still also only being productive for 4 hours a day. And I think the amount of like lateral thinking that goes on, and I don't know, I think there's a lot of value in getting up, because I'm still thinking about the game and stuff when I get up, and I'm like, oh man, you know what? I need to just go sweep dust and sweep the house. I'm probably thinking even harder about the game than when I was sitting working on something, so. When are you guys at NWC going to create an M&M channel on Twitch? Probably when we're closer to having people in and stuff like that. For now, it's nice just for a little bit of discoverability to be in other channels. A little bit of discoverability. Sometimes people wander in here from just software development channel, see what we're doing. Boom. Nice. Lighting does so much in here. I love it. Yeah, it is. Troll Shaman. Halfling Bard. I like the idea of like a badass looking Gnome Inquisitor. Maybe Gnome Cleric. What is NWC? The name of our company. Niche Worlds Cult. Let's see. Yeah, I like the soundtrack. I like how we sort of did the style on this one for this. Biz said, that's how I found you. Random selection in software and game development category. See, there we go. Welcome again to the folks that found us via Facebook today. The Project 1999 group. That's super cool. Any interviews on the books? None at the moment. Like nothing. I still need to post the last one that I did with Prathan. Just been kind of saving it, and I need to. I don't know. I need to reach out. Like I feel a little. It's sometimes I feel a little weird, like bothering people. I would love to have like a panel conversation with some of the old team. Like, I mean, there's so many people I'd like to get together in a group, but it'd be cool to have like Ryan and Akil. I'd love to get Rich Waters back on again. Maybe John Troy. I think both of those were relatively short interviews. Both had stuff to do. The problem is it's still like everybody's work day, and it's even harder now because a lot of people have actually gone back to the office. So I've reached out to Bill a few times. So I mean, on some of them, like Bill and Smed and stuff like that, there's only, I mean, I can maybe do it one more time, like try one more time, and then I'm kind of like, oh, I tried. If you mean Bill Trost. Bill Fisher, I could probably get back on. And he's a lot of fun. So Zoidberg said, I think if you ask in the context of wanting to learn the secret sauce of EQ and how it can apply to MM, that's actually where I feel a little more self-conscious. I don't want to be like, hey guys, I'm continuing to try to mine information for the game we're working on. I gotta do the opposite. I gotta be like, guys, I'm working to preserve EQ history. Also, let's talk about the secret sauce. What I really need to do is spend some time just going through the old interviews and editing out some clips so that there's some smaller, more bite-sized discussions to post. Because according to the metrics on YouTube, the absolute vast majority of people don't watch anywhere near the whole like 3-hour interview, so there's a lot of content that people have missed. So if I can expose them to that content, then I can also lure them over to check out Eminem. The YouTube algorithm favors longer content these days, theoretically. Yep. Well, the longer content's already been posted, so that's nice. This is more to direct people back to the longer content. Kind of like a JRE clips, and I mean everybody's got clips at this point, right? Yeah, it's funny. Some of the videos I watch that are over. Oh, I did get a slam. Doesn't interrupt. I watched some videos, man, and you can just tell they're just pushing for that 10 minutes. Slam is damage, not interrupt. If you slam from behind, it's a stun, right? Okay. Now that I've had one land... Oh, we're level 4. So, I hate to burst anybody's bubble here in chat watching tonight. 4 levels in 2 hours and 33 minutes will not be our target. Oops. We are blazing through levels at the moment. Might be good to have guest player in those streams who worked on EQ for their thoughts on how Eminem is progressing. Well, that would be very overt then. Like, hey guys, I need you to come directly market our game for us. But yeah, the invitation will be out there. Alright, so torments your target's mental state, causing 5 points of magic damage, decreasing their intelligence, wisdom, charisma, and mana regen by 2. Two-second cast time. Cool. Olo CDN? Olo Coden? Thank you for the follow. So 26 hit points. I'm just zoned out. Apparently my Red Bull is worn off. Fortunately, you now have sound effects to listen to. Ability missed. Adichie, did you see Nick's message? So he had 62 hit points. I was about to say he felt better. I mean, you know, the heals definitely helped. There's a lot of healing going on. I'm assuming mobs aren't leashed and training will be a thing. Line of sight splitting, root CC, all the main staples. Pulling supply, correct. Yep. That is a good assumption. Rev said, great that you have a full scale dungeon for starter levels. Yeah, and I think slowing the pace down and allowing for more experience both outside the dungeon and then driving more time in dungeon and getting more opportunity to sort of extract value from the dungeon will be nice, right? It'd be nice to be gearing up as part of this without out leveling it. But also without just like the gear flying on to us. So a little bit of gearing up and likely some gearing up and getting coin and reagents and other tradable, sellable stuff. So I'll have to look at the experience gain in these early levels. And Nick said I've got 2 stacks of bone chips turning. I need to loot up more. I only got 12. The bunny, I don't mind it. It's just I think we can provide more value at the low levels. Have the game just be the game from the onset. Bad luck, Jimbo. What's going on? Aku said, an overwhelming sense of pride after getting a full set of cloths for focusing solely on skeletons. Always felt great. Yeah. Oh, cool. Cool for checking in on us. Yeah, I don't think we'll ever be highly directed in that sense. So, but we will provide more opportunities for things like camp. I'll have to, when I get back to town, I'll have to, maybe I'll just do it tomorrow. It's already getting late, but spend some time. I'll look at what my spell lineup looks like for this guy. Play him for a bit. So we'll probably start doing at least one playtest a week. So of the 2 streams that I tend to do, one will be, at least one will be dedicated to playing. So if you're watching the VOD and you want to try to make it in and chat with us one day, great. I was wondering when I get Mez. Kick and mesmerize. Aku said the Willwright School of Thought give players a set of tools in an open world and allow them to find their own goals while giving them exposure to what sort of things they can expect if they stick around. Seeing a raid gear, level 60 buffing Louise and G-Fey, regaling tales of faraway lands and killing giants. That would stomp you out. Had such an effect on motivations of other players. Hey, Stoic. Yeah. Hold on one second while I deal with this guy real quick. Oh, he's fine. Alright, now let me actually sit and mem this stuff. Move that here. Move kick there. What classes are Nick and Zukin playing? Nick is playing a Cleric and Zukin is a Spellblade. Cool. Now we're doing it. I'm kicking. I'm slamming. He's dead. I meant to comment on Big Worm's name earlier. You still in here, Big Worm? What up, Big Perm? Yeah, exactly. Messing with my loot is like messing with my emotions, Zukin. Have the named been given cool drops already? I don't think so. I don't believe so. Chunky sort of chunkness +2? Oh, not +2 at this level. That's a little too crazy. +1. If that. Given our lower starting stats, things like +1 and +2 actually should make a bit more of a difference. I mean, if that guy dropped leather, I'd be happy. Is the skeleton's name Archer because he sure as shit ain't carrying a bow? You think a archer always has to have a bow? We're describing his skill set. But I did get a bow out of the deal. See my bow? You think I'm playing around? I don't know that every one of them dropped it, but I did get a bow, so that's pretty cool. Will magic weapons be a thing? They will be a thing. No cloth, armor, or beginner gear? Nope. I mean, it exists. It's in game. We don't have it. I have a set of cloth gloves. Oh man, we're creeping up on 11 o'clock. What in the world? This guy. How was I not targeting him? Oh, weird. Yay, he's Mez. Well, the tab targeting tabbed the thing right behind me, oddly enough. So. Yeah, I mean, where we can fit in little animations to show NPC and player state and stuff, we will. So. Alright, we'll see if this archer has a bow. Have you tried Project Gorgon? What do you think of it? I have tried it. And I enjoyed what I played of it. I thought it was interesting. We streamed a little bit of it, like last year, or year before, and I spoke with Sandra from Project Gorgon about coming on the screen on the stream. See, this guy's got a bow. Homer. Let's see if the next one's got one as well. He's got a bow as well. Oh man. Let's see. But yeah, I really I found their little tutorial island to be a ton of fun. Dargus said, personally, I'd like to see the spell level affect the VFX. If a level 60 casts a level 1 spell, the spell should still look like a level 1 spell. Yeah, makes sense. We were talking about, oh goodness. We were talking about progressive effects, but the Mez T-pose, yeah. Thanks, Nick. T-pose spell. It's just, but it would be such a T-pose. I could see if their arms kind of like waved a little bit, maybe levitate them off the ground a little bit. Will there be an animation for provoke? I've got a taunt animation that could be reused for provoke. Zukin, did you just shadow step at that dude? Oh, you're saying the provoke would be the T-pose because it looks dominant. I see what you're saying. I wonder if on something like the shadow step, we should blink you out and have you reappear. And if we do that with spell effects, then maybe it'll look a little less like you're just warping. It was funny, when I was working on DC, the speed to try to convey like Superman or somebody of that similar power, or like the Flash zooming over at something. Was hard to convey with keeping them in the world. Had to blink them out. Interesting, that's the second time tab targeting got the guy behind me. Yeah. Dude, look at this game. Really shaping up nicely. Thank you, Keith. Curious if this tuning is about in the ballpark you want, where a group of 3 level 4s can handle pull 4 mobs reasonably easily. Nick said, no, we're doing more damage than intended. I second that opinion. Oh. Oh, I'm medding. Nick's doing more damage than me. Yeah, because I spent a lot of that. Time casting Mez. A lot of the creatures in it drop tiny bags in Charval. Like actual bags. Like for you to put stuff in bags. I mean, it was one of us apprentices. We're probably, you know, we're just trying to make it life easier. Make sure you had access to bags at a low level. All right, we're gonna run over a little bit on time, but we wanna clear this hall. How did I get started in game development? Through customer service. I really, really wanted to work on EverQuest, so I became a guide so that I could meet GMs, so that I could become a GM, so that I could then figure out what it is that I could do in game development. I think that is the most abridged I've ever told that story. You're impressed with that abridged? Yeah. Usually I just go and go and go and go and go. But so many of you have heard that tale so many times, I was just trying to spare you. It just did it again. Like, what am I targeting? I hit tab and it's just like, not that guy. Where is there another paladin? Is that one way up there? No, that's not even... Where's there a paladin? Ah, okay. Nick's on it. Nick's on it. No, I'm struggling with that step. Yeah, I like that part. That part was fun. Is Slam a racial ability? No. You didn't see the ability book? Right here. Right there, sir. All gnomes get slammed. No, there are no dumb questions. I may provide a dumb answer every once in a while, but there are no dumb questions. Let's med to full for the last room. Okay. I just realized how bad my posture is. Strength buffs? Yep. Okay. Wrong one. Nick, is minor spell shield self only? Yeah, okay. Makes sense the way it was written. The spell description is very specific. Can players expect that level of detail to be in game? Unsure at the moment. I'd like to discuss that with the team a bit and see. Yeah, I think most people like the level of detail. I just there's something nagging about it to me. Combat formulas will not be revealed. No. Oh, jeez. Wrong way. Honestly, that's immersion breaking to me. Here's my magical spell I've read and scribed into my spellbook, but I have no earthly idea what it possibly does. Above and beyond just being obnoxious design, Dargeth said. Alright. Cool. Did you get feared? Yes. Feared IRL. Alright, let me zone worms bane tomb. Yeah, I mean, there's a certain amount of information that I think when I was first thinking about information presented in game, it's like, oh, it's kind of interesting to sort of figure some of that stuff out. But the more I've been looking at just sort of RPGs in general and stuff, I don't know. We may find that certain things like, you know, having that be, wow, there we go. Not providing that information directly doesn't really provide much value, so we'll see. It's late, we'll figure it out. Dargeth, that has been the fence I've been sitting on. You know, but it's always nice to get the rest of the team's input and debate it and blah blah blah. Zone Night Harbor. All right. I told you I was going to show you the new trees before I logged off. What time is it? What time of day is it? Looks like it's morning time. Yeah, 6 a.m. Perfect. So, Pattis has been working on different varieties of trees using the new textures that we have. If you want the full breakdown on sort of the logic behind the different styles that we've tried out, be sure to check out his recent stream. You can check the VOD here on Twitch. I'm not sure if he's posted it to YouTube yet, but we started with like the original sort of 4. Essentially, it's 2 placards. And then have attempted some other styles. Oh, cool. You're doing a better job at that than I am. Harrison. Yeah, it's a bit challenging. So when we first looked at these, when we first looked at the trees, I think just base style. This is like the old classic, just 2 cards crossed. I forget. You said it's what, 3 or 4 cards? I forget what it is. Just the main point of feedback, and then we've got sort of the more WoW style where it's but the shadows, so the shadows on this one are so good, you know. That's just, I really like the shadows, and it's nice because it eats up a lot of space with the shadows when the day-night cycle is not moving so crazy fast. You know, you can picture if you got a bunch of these around, it really helps fill in the scene a good bit. This one's not, you know, it's not bad. It's just that during different times of day, you get a little bit different look, especially when the sun gets right over it. So the challenge though is the other thing that I noticed is this has a fairly limited just sort of black spot. It just gives a lot of these nice little stripy shadows. I don't know how big a deal it is. Whereas these wind up being kind of limited in that regard. And again, I might be making too big a deal out of that aspect of it, but I just think that when we got a bunch of these, they're just, again, maybe I'm just being a weirdo, but I really like, especially, you haven't seen it happen yet, but like when some of the mobs, like the bats and other things are flying through here, it looks pretty cool. I can thin those out. Let's try it with 2 planes. Cause a more solid shadow. Okay, cool. But generally speaking, I mean, they look good. I think the flat planes there look a little off. But I'd be happy with either one of these styles, just kind of generally looking at it. I do like the canopy part of this. Like when you look up, because we mentioned it, we talked about it a little bit in Slack. It's like thinking ahead to how forests and other types of trees may work. So. I was like, why does I looked over at Nick and then looked at the skeleton. I was like, I think Nick's really right. The skeletons are just way too small. Freaking giraffe. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap up. And go to bed. It's past my bedtime. Wind up getting up early in the mornings. I have a long day ahead of me tomorrow. Thank you for hopping on the stream. I appreciate you guys sticking around all night. All of the new folks, welcome. Definitely check out Discord. Appreciate all the positive feedback. Like I said, we'll be playtesting a lot more in the future, so at least once a week, and then we'll be doing development streams and stuff. So I'll be back on Thursday. I'll probably be either working on animations or environment art, and we'll see. Bisbee. Good night. Keith, good night. Haku, good night. Curran, good night. Nicodemus, good night. I'm gonna go over here. And then I'm gonna pop out. Zukin and Nick, thank you very much for the group. That was a lot of fun. And yeah, I will see everybody on Thursday.